Alrighty, welcome into the Sports Ramble Podcast, episode 22. As always, it's Matthew, Trey, and Garrett along for the ride here in the Sports Ramble Podcast. Now, there is a big story going on right now. Well, kind of late, but still kind of pretty relevant. Was the Dallas Mavericks taking on the LA Lakers at home? Lakers were at home here in LA. First game for Luka Doncic since being traded. He goes off with a triple double, and they beat the Dallas 107-99. The thing is, Dallas was with them though. I'd say Gary said it last night. Dallas was with them and then we realized they have no center, and then that kind of killed them. But Trey, we'll get your thoughts on it first.
Okay, so as a Mavericks fan, I came into the game as like neutral because I didn't know what to expect. Because whenever the game started, Luka hit that D3 and he started talking some mess to the Mavs bench. I was like, oh, well, this is going to be a long game. I had to witness all this because every time Luka touched the ball, I didn't know what he was going to do with it. He's going to like try to do a 28-footer or a 30, like a long shot, step back. We don't know what he was going to do. Drop 50 or like do a triple double, which he did. But I kind of expected Luka to be like kind of nervous against his old team, but it sucks. But at the end of the day, it showed Mavericks still got some grit. The Mavericks still got grit. They got like some scrappy players, and it just sucks because PJ Washington, our third best player that was on the team that was active on the team on Tuesday. He had 0 points. But he still contributed. He had 10 rebounds, though. But here's the thing. To be the second or third best player on the court for the Mavericks, you got to score. Yeah. And everyone was like, had that the shell shock. Everyone was like, oh, my gosh, like the lights were too bright for like the role players. Like Kyrie and Clay did their thing. Pete kind of like crapped himself a little bit towards the end of the game. But at the end of the day, it showed growth for the Mavericks. So, like, hey, we can still, like, hang with them. But once, like, Derek Lively, Daniel Gafford, Anthony Davis, oh, yeah, we probably would have won by, like, at least 15, 20 points. Because the Lakers do not have – okay, I might have stretched with 15, 20 points. Probably, like, 5 or 10. I saw Garrett's face. Probably, like, 5 or 10 points. But we probably would have won against the Lakers if we had our big men because it's AD and Daniel Gafford and Derek Lively, and we probably would have had our rebounds because we got out-rebounded towards the end of the game. And this is my main thing. If everyone's healthy, we got a deep team. Still got a deep team. And we can still contend. It just is based off health. Because like the way we're the 9th seed right now, we're if we keep on losing down the stretch, we're pretty much digging ourselves in a hole that we're gonna try and climb ourselves out, and we might be in the play, which we don't want to be. Like, cause our goal right now is the 6th seed, and then we can either play Denver or Memphis, which I'd rather play Memphis because Memphis might shoot themselves in the foot come playoff time. So, because I don't want to play Denver in the playoffs because Denver might win in 5 or 6. So it's gonna be one of those things like we have to like make sure like we're all healthy at the right time because we're about to get healthy at the right time. We got Dwight Powell back, even though he's not in our main rotation, but hey, it's a start. And then we're gonna get Caleb Martin back. He's a solid defender, and he can score too. Anthony Davis, his first game as a Maverick before he got injured. 26 points, 16 rebounds, and 2 blocks. You can't map that up. One of those things like you see.
But Trey, that's the problem. That's the problem. It's a big if. If this happens, that's the problem with the Mavs. It feels like almost every year it's always, well, if we were healthy, we would have been to the finals. If we were this, we would have been good. It's like you can't. Hope's a sad thing. Hope's a real sad thing.
Yeah.
And me watching that game, I was impressed by the Mavs not giving up. But the only asterisk I have with them not giving up, it looked like the Lakers were kind of like letting them kind of play their game. Like the Lakers kind of gave up, it looked like, at a point. But the Lakers, ever since trading Luka Doncic, have only lost a total of 3 games.
Yeah.
And the Mavs have lost 7.
Don't remind me.
I mean, it's weird. I don't know how to explain it. It's just weird.
Because we have no bigs. PJ can do so much he can. Plus, he's playing on a bad ankle. Because mind you, he had a right ankle sprain on the same. It's like free accident. The same game Anthony Davis got hurt against Houston on February 8th, and then Daniel Gafford got hurt the next couple of games. Which that was a big blow because Daniel Gafford, he was playing his best basketball in his whole career. He was probably like the best stretch of his career. So that was a big blow because that was our big man offense, like right there. And then now, like, hopefully by like March 8th, March 6th, that's when like all of them going to get reevaluated to make sure like they can play. And they might be back like by March 8th or March 9th.
Yeah.
You just gotta hope. And that's like Matthew, I'm gonna agree with you. It's like if it's a key factor. If we can do this, if it's there's a lot of ifs in here. It's because like we can't have that mindset as like, oh, if we're healthy, we can do this. It's all about like we gotta believe, it's like we can't like just go on and say like, oh, well, if this can happen, you can't go on like just like it's not gonna go well.
I'm genuinely surprised they didn't put the camera on Nico Harris and everyone's just started cheering him. I wish they would have done that. Would have been funny. But Garrett, your thoughts on
you know what the Lakers fans did? I don't know if anyone caught it. Like whenever Luka was on the line.
Oh yeah, he did push-ups. I saw that.
Oh no, that was before the game. During the game, the fans was like, "Thank you, Nico."
Oh wow. Okay.
I was like, you know what, man? I don't want to hear this no more. I was like, okay, look. I know the trade was bad, but at the same time, I understand why they did it because like the whole like Luka like in the weight thing, like yeah. But at the same time, like he's 25. He's still got ways to go. And it's like he's about to reach his prime. And look, he might like start like taking his stuff seriously now since he got traded. It's so like pretty And here's my thing. Luka is not like a Dirk Nowitzki, like for an example. Dirk, like whenever he was in Dallas, he was laid back. Luka, he's more outgoing than Dirk. He can tell you like he's more like prideful in his game. And my thing is, whenever Luka got traded, it kind of hit him. Probably in his first time in his basketball career, like he got a sense of doubt, like, am I really that good? Or am I like I'm gonna take this stuff seriously now? And watch, like over the summer, he might become like you might see him like dunk more. Yeah. Okay, the boy don't dunk no more. And once that boy starts dunking on people now, oh yeah, we unleashed the monster. Pretty much, the league is going to be ready.
Yeah, they got.
I think yeah, but Garrett, your thoughts on it, like just watching it at all.
My favorite part, like game aside, was the Jordan commercial they released, but leading up to the game, with his license plate from Texas to California. That was great. But yeah, like you mentioned, like the Lakers were kind of giving up there at the end. I think Mavericks got it within 3 in the fourth quarter, and that was the closest they got. And then the Lakers pulled away. I didn't realize personally how big not having a center is, or a solid big guy, not even a center maybe, but because I've seen it with college teams, I've seen it now with the Mavs, obviously, but I mean, like every offensive rebound, every putback, it seemed like the Lakers were getting, and oftentimes it was just a putback dunk there at the end. So that was, they got to get healthy. I mean, that's their main goal right now.
And here's
they're not
the thing.
going far without it.
And Garrett, I gotta agree with you on that. Yes, we do got to get help. At the same time, the reason why we beat Golden State. I mean, Golden State does play small ball, but I know recently on Sunday we got a butt whoop back against them. But that game before at home against Golden State, we beat them, but it was all like grit, and then we boxed everyone out. And that's what we didn't do like the little things, the little small details that Jason Kidd like praises about like every day, like box out your guy and don't ball watch. Because like if you ball watch, the guy's gonna either cut back door and get the offensive rebound, do a putback, and then get back on defense. It's all about like the small details. When you're playing small ball, it's like everything's like you gotta be attentive to detail. Everything's like small details. Everything's gotta be correct. Because if you mess up, you're pretty much like the whole defense is all like screwed up.
Yeah. Your margin decreases
significantly. Margin of error is small.
Yep. Yes, very, very, it's very tiny. Then real quick, a little update here. I'm sure if people have not found out about it, Greg Popovich visited the Spurs facilities today. Released a statement saying that he will not return to the bench this season due to his suffering mild stroke. But since that time, the Spurs have gone 22-30 ever since Popovich was removed. Weirdly enough, though, the fact that they're 22-30 without Wembanyama, without Greg Popovich, I think they're doing pretty good. I know the record doesn't indicate that, but they could be a whole lot worse without those two being on the team.
Because they still got Stephen Castle.
Yep.
Yeah, he's good, and like I know Devin Vassell is still there. De'Aaron Fox, the news acquired from the via trade. He's still there. See, that's why everyone's like, the Spurs are going to be really good next year. It just takes a good offseason to get everyone like gelled together as a unit, and then because like San Antonio, like they got a few guys that have been playing together for a couple of seasons now. Now it's like even Greg Popovich says like, hey, we got a good team around. Like we got to start winning now, or we got to make some changes because they've been on a solid rebuild for the past like 2-3 seasons. Now it's like, all right, we got to like start making some improvements. We got to make the playoffs, something, because like if Wembanyama's out, should we ask De'Aaron Fox, oh, hey man, just go get that thumb surgery and let's drop the season? But at the same time, as a player's mindset, you still want to play hard. You still want to play every game. But at the end of the day, the NBA is a business. Because, like, the general managers, the owners, they don't care.
No.
Yeah.
They just care about, like, how much money they get per game and, like, how much, like, people, like, sit in the suites. So, at the end of the day, they just care about, like, how much money is that guy making.
And obviously Popovich being the number one coach of all time, in my opinion. I know everyone talks about Phil Jackson, but this guy has coached since 96, 97. He's got the most NBA wins of all time, most playoff wins, 5 championships. I mean, this guy has been great. He's seen some good talent go by, and obviously beat him, but hopefully his health does improve. And because in 2023 they signed him to a 5-year extension. So I mean that's a little excessive to me, but that's just me. The guy's 76. He's the oldest coach in the NBA.
Yeah.
It's not. I mean, obviously, hopefully he's okay. But my biggest thing about this whole season is there are so many teams now that I'm like, These guys looked like bottom feeders like 3 years ago, and now all of a sudden they're and like before the Timberwolves had Ant, they were okay, but they were not like they're playing, and that's about it. Same thing with the Mavs. With the Mavs, like when Luka was a rookie, like they really weren't on the cusp of doing anything special. Same thing with the Thunder. God, the Thunder have really turned things around.
See, look, perfect example as a perfect rebuild, because they were like, if you wanted to trade someone, do them dirty, send them to OKC, because that's like pretty much like they're back in the day. OKC was the equivalent to the Cleveland Browns. That's how sorry they were back in the day.
Yeah.
It was I got to play there? But, because no one wanted to play there. Now everyone wants to play there now because, everyone's, they mesh their, because their chemistry's high. And, all of them are young. And then I saw a stat that Auburn and OKC are, they have, the same, age. Everyone has, around the same age-wise.
Wow.
That's kind of crazy if you think about it, because Auburn, they're a college team, and the OKC Thunder, they're an NBA team, and professionals are NBA is different than college, of course, but at the same time, it's kind of crazy talented Auburn is, and then with going back to the NBA, this is based on age.
Yeah,
crazy.
It's also interesting to see how they rebuilt because different teams have done different ways. The Thunder obviously traded Paul George to the Clippers in exchange for all those first-round picks. But you look at a team like Cleveland, they're the top team in the NBA right now. Well, East, I guess, second in the NBA. But they rebuilt by just being bad, getting the lottery pick every single year. And eventually those picks stacked up. It started with Colin Sexton, and then I think
Darius
Garland, and then last year Evan Mobley, and then now we got Davion Mitchell, and he was kind of the final piece, I think.
Yeah, they used some of those picks to grab some players that are much needed too, coming off the bench. Using that, I believe they used a second round pick to grab what's his name? He's their backup center.
Jared Allen?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, they used the second to grab Jared Allen, which was pretty good, I think.
I
think so. I have to look back at it because I'm pretty sure he's... Anyway, but yeah, they did a really good job. Same thing with because I know they got... well, they had them, but... And another not rebuild, but a retool that worked is the Milwaukee Bucks. You saw them grab some good players from there as well. Dame time, grabbing him and stuff like that. Obviously, he hasn't been very good this season. No,
he hasn't been Dame time this season.
But again, that's one of those things where it's like a trade. That's kind of akin to the Mavs trade, where it's a gamble. It's you grab him at. You know what I mean? You don't grab him because he's a proven commodity. You grab him because he's, you hope that he can return to form. That's what I think that's why over the days I've been really thinking about it. I'm the Mavs got AD for the idea that he could be at his defensive peak. You don't trade. That's the thing is you don't trade someone for the idea of that. You trade someone because they're a proven commodity. He's proven it before, yes, but then look at his track record. Okay, injured, missed. Over the course of his Lakers career, he has missed over 200 man games. I mean that is.
It's not good.
No.
But AD is 31. I know, once you hit your 30s as an NBA player, you start to decline. But when Nico sees, I don't know what he sees, but Nico sees, a championship contender with AD and Kyrie at the helm, which, not gonna lie, it could work. Keyword, could. It could also backfire. And then Nico might lose his job, probably. We don't know, but it's just up to the players and health.
You remember when you guys had Josh Richardson?
Oh, him?
Yeah.
Dude, it was so bad. Luka told Rick Carlisle to don't get a new guy and put in someone else. It was that bad because he blew it. I think he blew a layup during playoffs, and whenever he was playing the Clippers in 2021, he blew a layup and then Luka did the death stare at him, and I'm like, bro, what are you doing?
Dude, I'm looking at I'm looking at Nico Harrison's trade. His trade history and his sign history. Probably besides the trade, the Luka trade, the other one that I can see that was bad was when he traded Porzingis and a second-round pick to the Wizards for Davis Bertans and Spencer Dinwiddie.
Okay, that's not okay. Look, going back, trade at the time, that was kind of a good trade because we got Dinwiddie. That's not and Bertans. I mean, Bertans is not really a main defender, but he can shoot the ball, bro. He can shoot.
He's a sharpshooter.
That's pretty much it. But at the same time, KD kept on getting a year, and then we kept on getting is he gonna get hurt? Because he was hurt every other 3 games. That's why we traded him. It sucked, but at the same time.
But looking at his draft picking too, his draft picks have been, the definition is mid. First round pick, 26th overall, Wendell Moore Jr.
Because we had no draft picks, all the draft picks went to New York. And we got Jaden Hardy and Derek Lively.
Yeah, but he traded 2 picks for Hardy, 2 second-round picks for Hardy. He was worth at least 1 second-round pick.
And what sucks, Jaden Hardy might not even be on the team next season because he might get traded for I didn't even say this. If Nico trades for KD, I might have to take my talent somewhere else because that's pretty much you're bombing the team. Because you know what's crazy? I can actually see that man doing it. And we're going to trade PJ, Gafford, probably Clay. Well, actually, no, Clay might still be there. We're going to turn to the Brooklyn Nets from a couple of years ago with everyone was old. We're going to be the retirement home of the league. Everyone's in their 30s. KD's about to retire. Not yet, but close to. He's 30, in his late 30s. Davis is probably one ankle roll away from being out for the year. Kyrie, we don't want to run
anything. Kyrie and KD the first time didn't work too well, so I don't know if it would work well the second time.
Kyrie and KD worked. It's just Giannis stepped on Kyrie's foot and twisted it, and he was out. Because if you look back in 2021, if Kyrie and Harden didn't get hurt, no one was going to stop them. They probably would have won the championship. Same with going back to if Kawhi didn't tear his ACL in 2021, they probably would have beaten Phoenix, and it probably would have been a Clipper in Brooklyn final.
With the Raptors, I think it was 2019, right? When he was on the Raptors.
In 2019, yeah.
That was 2016 or whatever it was, 2014 Spurs Kawhi.
He won the Finals MVP.
Yeah, exactly. It's just injuries are so unfortunate for great players like Kawhi, like KD, Kyrie's kind of returning back to form. But that's why LeBron is still going as he is because he's never had, as far as I'm concerned, a major injury. It's always been slight things.
Yeah. Okay, Laker fans might agree with me on this. I know y'all not they don't watch remember this that much, but there was a game whenever the Lakers played Atlanta. It was that home game. Atlanta Hawks basketball player named Solomon Hill.
Yeah.
Ran into LeBron's ankle because the Lakers they were really solid before all the injuries happened. That the year after COVID, whenever there was no people in the stands, And Lakers were 21-6. They were really doing good. And then that injury happened, and then it was just like a straight
fall apart.
They just fell apart, and then
that's the thing is like those are so finicky, right? Like same thing when you look back at like another one, Pat Beverly running into Russell Westbrook's knee, and then that derailed the entire Thunder run. Yeah, back when they had Russ and KD, that derailed their entire run. But again, looking back at Nico Harrison's tenure as a GM, it's been the definition of mid. Like he cannot draft. I'll be honest, he cannot draft. Look at all of his draft picks that were the first round. Like either he had the 26th pick, he had the 10th pick like 2 years ago, and eventually all those picks that he had, none of them are on the team now. They're all traded. They were all used in trades.
Lively?
No, Lively was traded. I mean, like to the Dallas.
Oh, to Dallas. Okay.
Yeah, he traded to Dallas. Yeah. So all the draft picks he used. Like, say you were drafted. Oh man, I'm the 24th overall pick of the Mavs. I can't wait to play. Oh shit, I just got traded for Luka.
That's the thing. That's the crazy part. We don't even play our rookies. That's the crazy part because we got good guards young guards that we don't even play. And then, whenever our veteran guards are messing up,
it's like he's blocking. He's blocking the rookies from playing. Like he's like you're gonna be used to get an older guy. I will give him credit for the trades that he makes, except for aside from the Luka trade. You know, they've been pretty good trades. The Kyrie, the Kyrie trade didn't hurt you. You didn't really lose a whole lot. You may possibly one of those first round picks that you gave up could become something. They could become something, but that's not like they gave up a 2028 first round pick. That's in 3 years. You never know what's going to happen.
And then last year we got PJ and Daniel Gafford. See, that was a win trade deadline for us. But yeah, I do understand Nico Harrison's tenure as a GM here has been mid. Because he has good moments, and then he has moments where dude, what the heck? What are you doing?
And you might see the vision he's going for. Obviously we're not basketball insiders. We don't know anything. We know as much as the next guy. But just by a bystander standpoint, you look at some of the moves that are being made by around the NBA. For example, the Jimmy Butler trade. I was just like, dude, why would you? What was the point? I understand you didn't want. I know Jimmy beefs his way out of every team he's been on. But him and Draymond together, that's a recipe for disaster. And it hasn't there's been times where you watch them play and you're like, this has not been.
It looks good now. I know they won 4 straight games. But
just waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Oh no, just wait. I'm just waiting for the off season. If they lose in the playoffs, either Draymond swinging at Jimmy or Jimmy swinging at Draymond. Knowing, and then it was crazy. Steph's gonna be the scapegoat to talk everyone out.
I don't know why Steph hasn't Steph or Steve Kerr. One of those two is eventually gonna leave. Maybe not this year, but at least in the next 2 years, I expect one of them to get.
Steph and Draymond, they're probably gonna be Golden State for life. Steve Kerr,
he's getting up in the years.
I know he is. Steve Kerr getting old. I mean,
but eventually, the ownership, I could see ownership being okay, listen, or the GM being listen, we're kind of still we used to be great. We're still kind of in that first round, second round elimination. We need to make a change. Something's got to change. You can't get complacent like the Steelers. The Steelers have had Mike Tomlin for however many years, and look what they've gotten. They've gotten first round exit every year. They don't change anything. Eventually, if a team becomes complacent, if you're a perennial first round exit or play-in exit, something's got to change. I look at the Clippers as a prime example. They've changed their direction so many times, but it results in the same thing.
Because here's the crazy part: Golden State pretty much has to win the championship in the next 2 or 3 seasons to make everything what they did in the past 2 seasons had to matter, because they traded away Jordan Poole for old man Chris. Guess what that led them? They didn't even make the playoffs.
Andrew Wiggins recently.
Andrew Wiggins, who's still kind of young. He's in his late 20s now, but he's still young for old man Jimmy Butler, who was about to turn. He's in his mid 30s now. So now, like your championship window is went from like here to like it dropped, like massive drop. Because Steph's getting older by age. Jimmy Butler isn't like 36 now. Draymond's 34, and it's a young men's league now.
Yep.
And yeah, but you could say the same thing about the Luka trade. Like, your contending window now has gotten way smaller because you have Kyrie, you have Klay, you have AD. All guys are in their mid 30s, about to be mid 30s, early 30s, something like that. So you have, at least in a contending window for the Mavs, you have at least 3 years, and that's maximum, because you don't know, again, if you take out injuries, if you take out, everyone plays at peak performance, Jason Kidd keeps coaching at the level he's coaching at. There are so many factors that into this season for the Mavs that are like, listen, this better be championship or bust, because if you're a first round exit, I really do think this trade, I know people are already back and forth. I've been back and forth about it. Like, it's been bad. It's been okay. I've never said it's been good, but I think it really hinges on how far the Mavs go and how far the Lakers go. If the Lakers make the Eastern Conference Finals and the Mavs are a first round out, it really shows then how bad the trade is. I think that's what Nico is like. Hey, listen, we built our team for the playoffs, for the depth to go deep. Well, you don't have any depth because half your depth is currently in the trainer's table.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going anywhere. And so, I don't know, Garrett, your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, exactly what you said. I think it's so tough to stay healthy in this league nowadays, especially like with all the load management stuff you see. These players like Joel Embiid, for example, sitting out for how many games, still getting paid $50 million, But no, I think the Mavs, if they want to prove that this was at least of some value, they need to get results right away. Because, I mean, fans are very impatient of teams, right? But I feel like Dallas fans in particular, like Cowboys, Mavericks, Rangers, anything, they're very impatient. And so you need to have some kind of product, some result in the next, if not this year, maybe next year or the year after that. But if not, then you're going to lose a lot of support and a lot of things that you've gained over the years by having Luka lead your team, and now he's gone. So I think it's a tough situation.
Yeah, I gotta agree, because here's my thing on here's my take on this. Yes, our championship window, it decreased by a lot of years, because with Luka at the helm, we still have a fighting chance, like contending for years to come, probably until he retires. But now, like, since we got rid of him, our championship window is probably like 3 to 5 years max. And then we got to go on a long rebuild, which we don't know if we're going to get a generational talent like Luka anymore. Because generational talent like Luka comes once in a lifetime, so it's like, well, we're betting against ourselves now. It's like, look, if Kyrie, because here's my thing, the way Kyrie's been playing, Kyrie's been playing his best basketball in a long time. I know he's playing, he's like the main scorer now, but a couple weeks ago, bro was saying his back, he contemplating having surgery on his back, and once you have surgery on your back, you're not the same player. Look at what happened to Ben Simmons. He ain't the same. So I just don't want to run Kyrie Irving to the ground, because he's been averaging like 40-some minutes a game. I know it's Kyrie, but like the way he takes care of his body, but at the same time, I just don't want him to get run to the ground, and then whenever AD gets back, he gets hurt. Gotham.
And then you're left with nothing. I mean, you're left with an old Klay Thompson who can't never create by himself.
He can't create for himself. He just because he wants to like get open. Everyone was like standing around him. It was like he's running in circles, trying to get open, and everyone's like standing there and like watching him do that. And it was like, Someone set that boy a screen. He can't ISO by himself. Yeah. Not that ball handler anymore. But anyways,
he's a team for life.
Who am I? I'm just a person. I'm just here to talk. I'm just here.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, the Mavericks aren't going to listen to me. I'm just a dot to them. I'm just a fan.
Exactly. But with that, we get over our time there. We were going to talk college hoops, but really didn't get around to it because this game was, came up with a lot of topics, a lot of stories to tell. But over time, there, it doesn't matter. We have fun here at the Sports Ramble Podcast. But for Trey and for Garrett, I'm Matthew. Guys, next week we're going to have. We might not have a podcast because I think I'm going on a vacation for a little bit. So if Garrett and Trey have to do it by themselves, by God they will. But I think that was a really good episode for at least in terms of being able to talk. This is what it's all about, guys. It's literally just conversation. Like it's a ramble. There's really nothing planned for today. Like really, if it takes us in a tangent, it takes us in a tangent. That's how this works, and that's what we love about it. So. But next time we will see you, I'm sure there'll be a ton of stories to talk about and different topics. And I think we're gonna have one day we're gonna have to have Garrett run his own topic. We're gonna have him pick any topic he wants and just let him run with it. Just to stay silent, let him see how far he can carry it before we have to jump in.
That's dangerous.
It is dangerous. It is dangerous.
I'll pick some of the most random underwater basket weaving something.
He's gonna pick like Ultimate Robot Fighting Championships. Yeah, I don't know what he's talking about.
Be like water polo.
Dude, have you ever played water polo legitimately?
Almost drowned. Never do
Dude,
it again.
I played it once and I was being drowned. People that sport is so physically taxing. I'm a hockey player and that's a physically taxing sport, but nothing like water polo. I'm struggling to stay alive out there. Because everyone, the second you touch the ball, everyone's trying to elbow you in the mouth, drown you. It's I'm like, dude, I just chucked it. I was like, and after you get rid of it, people are still grabbing at you, and you're like, get off of me, back away. It was, dude. There's 3 sports in my head that I'm like, these are the hardest sports. 1, obviously, water polo. 2 is hockey for me because I play it. 3, rugby. Dude, my God.
I can't play rugby. No.
I remember I was at UNT. We were out, we were doing an ultimate frisbee championship. I never played ultimate frisbee. Never know how to play it. I played it. I don't care. But I'm looking across. I see the UNT rugby team. And there's one kid that absolutely gets lit up in the head and gets up and it's like, oh. And then he goes back. I'm like, you should not be alive. You look like you got nailed. Dude, elbow right to the jaw. And he's fine. I'm like, good Lord, these guys are built different. If you ever watch a match in New Zealand or whatever, yeah, it's those are injuries, man.
Insane,
those are bad But with that, guys, we'll off a little tangent at the end there. With that, we'll see you guys next week or whenever we do see you. We'll obviously keep you updated on the Sports Ramble Podcast. Make sure to follow and like and subscribe for all your next content for the Sports Ramble Podcast. But for everyone else, we'll see you next week.